Good Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Ginger Jeffries with a live update right here on 12 Plus of our winter weather moving through Arizona. Let's start with right here. Our Doppler radar in the valley. Yeah, you can see for the most part the rain is skirting the region. The atmosphere is plump. We've got quite a bit of cloud cover, and if you've stepped outside today, you know it certainly feels like winter. The low is really to the south of us, so that's where we've seen most of the action, but still no measurable rainfall. So let's put this in perspective. For Phoenix, last time we saw rain in the valley, measurable rainfall, was in August of last year. So unfortunately, by the way things are shaping up, that dry streak is going to continue. However, for the higher elevations, we have seen a little bit of snow, and Tucson, wow, it's going to get very cold tonight. There is a freeze warning I'll tell you more about in just a couple of minutes. On our Doppler radar, though, you can see just a little bit of snow south of the 10 as we zoom up close to Globe this morning. Had some freezing rain and some snow. Right now, we're also picking up a little bit of precipitation into Superior. But again, getting those snow totals for those areas right now just aren't coming in. We'll continue to update you throughout the day. Payson not seeing any action coming down right now. And Flagstaff, as you can see on our Doppler radar, it is dry, but there is still potential. In fact, we've already picked up a hint of snow overnight. Meantime, let's take a look for the valley. What are we looking at over the next few hours? Still quite a bit of cloud cover, but I'll call it mainly dry. And yeah, you don't see any percentiles on the screen. We really don't have an opportunity to pick up measurable rainfall for the rest of the day. Our best chances were after 2 a.m. this morning and kind of expired at about 8 o'clock this morning. So just about an hour ago. In Show Low, we still have a 20% chance of some snow showers through about the 3 o'clock hour. And that's a real key time zone because after 3 is when we're really going to start seeing some stronger winds before the sun goes down. But we also have a wind advisory for the valley that will expire at 2. Again, more on that in just a minute. Flagstaff, also much of the same. Very windy, very cold, and we've got about a 20% chance at some more snow accumulation through the 3 o'clock hour. These are very pocketed systems and cells moving on through, but it has brought around the first snowfall of the year. It wasn't much. It was 1/10 of an inch of snow so far in Flagstaff, but we also saw an inch of snow in the higher elevations at about the 9,500 foot level. 12 News journalist Gabrielle Baccaro was there for it. She joins us live. Gabby, my goodness, it's clear. It must be cold as well.
It is freezing, Ginger. Good morning. The sun is finally up, so we're finally getting a look at just how much snow fell overnight. And like you said, it's a little disappointing for the people who were really hoping to see some significant snowfall last night. Take a look. We're in the northeastern part of Flagstaff right now, and I would say this is the most significant amount of accumulation we've seen since we've been out here. You can see the snow still covering parts of the roads and the sidewalk. I also want to direct you up to the mountain there. We can still see some snow up at the top, but otherwise a fairly dry mountain. Same thing with over in downtown Flagstaff. We didn't get to see much snow that sucked to the ground there, but nonetheless, everyone still needs to take caution if they're getting out on the roads this morning. The good news is we've seen so many snow plows. Both the Coconino County and ADOT plow operators have been working around the clock to keep traffic moving. They use cinder on the county roads to help cars with traction and de-icer on the highways ahead of the snow. And it didn't turn out to be quite as much snow down here that people were expecting or honestly even hoping for. We spoke to some people visiting from down in the valley, and they were really hoping to see the city blanketed in snow and also some fresh powder up at Snowball. So lucky for them, they got at least an inch up there. But the locals are also ready to see some more winter weather apart from just these freezing cold temperatures.
At this point in the year, we're happy to get any snow that we can. Encourage folks to come out, play in as much snow as they want to, but let's make sure we're safe and take care of yourselves.
And if you are traveling from the valley to spend the day in the snow or what's left of it, really, you may want to give yourself some extra time and make sure your car is equipped to get up the mountain. It's also recommended that you travel prepared, wear some good winter clothing. Like I'm fully decked out in my winter gear because it really is so cold up here. And those strong winds that you were talking about, we're already starting to feel them. And that's what is really kind of making it super chilly up here. So come prepared with extra dry clothes, some water, some food, just in case you get stuck in the snow. So we'll keep you guys updated on how the road conditions are looking, and we'll toss it back to you now, Ginger.
We've been wanting to keep people ahead of this storm for so many reasons, because one of the issues with not getting enough snow is it's really creating these icing conditions. You know, when you just get a little dusting and then you add in that wind, that's when we can really see the black icing conditions. So what are you seeing on the roads up there, Gabby? Is it really slick and slippery?
The main roads were pretty clear, but also kind of slushy. I'll show you really quick here what we're seeing on a lot of the side roads. This is what they look like. Pretty slippery. Yeah, you know, I could easily move my boot across some of this ice here, but also look, we could see some of that cinder that I mentioned that the county plows are dropping. So they are trying to really help with traction, but you definitely need to be careful here. We saw one car almost slip earlier this morning, but for the most part, hopefully people are taking it slow, because that black ice, you can't even see it. It can really sneak up on you.
All right, Gabby, thank you for the very latest. Now going inside and warm up. Appreciate it. All right, let's take a look. Now, as far as what's ahead for the rest of the day, remember that low moved to the south. So I was telling you all Monday and Tuesday on Today in AZ that the snowfall expectations were really dwindling. I mean, it started at 6 to 8 inches and then dropped rapidly to 1 to 3 inches. And as Gabby just mentioned, we got an inch at snowball so far, so we're within the realm of expectation. But as far as Futurecast data, yeah, everything is pushing to the south. So as far as our opportunity to break that dry streak here in the metro, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Now, the moisture side, that's not the only component of this system. We've got a lot of wind. I know you felt it yesterday. We've got a high wind advisory, as you can see, for the areas in brown. So that includes East Mesa, Fountain Hills, Peoria, Scottsdale, everyone getting ready for wind speeds up to 50 miles an hour. This will go through about 2 o'clock, and then we're going to be squeezing that moisture out of the sky. Also, you can see this area in purple. This is where we have a freeze warning for tonight into tomorrow, where temperatures are going to be between about 14 to 32 degrees. My goodness, that is some chilly air. The wind chill factor from this energy is really, I think, the more global impact than the precip value. And as you can see, wind gusts all morning long. We've been seeing those double-digit winds in Phoenix, at times getting up to 27 miles an hour. Looks like we have 18 to 21 mile an hour winds in the higher elevations. As far as what we're expecting, I'm going to step out of frame. So much data coming your way. 9 o'clock, as you can see, we've got winds upwards of 30 to 40 miles an hour in the Grand Canyon. Strong winds through the noon hour. And then by about 2 o'clock, that's when I think we're going to see the peak of the wind, at least in the metro. After 2 o'clock, this wind event is going to shift into the higher elevations and then begin to subside overnight. The impact from this wind is going to be felt, though, for many days. Understand what's happening is the frontal boundary is pushing on through, and trailing the front, well, that's where all the cold stuff comes. So let's talk temps. Right now, we're at 59 degrees in Phoenix, but I want to draw your attention to Flagstaff. 25 is what the thermometer is reading. With the wind chill, it feels like 11 degrees outside. So it is definitely going to be blustery. That's why I'm calling for windy and cool conditions today. We're looking for daytime highs at 68 degrees. Put this in perspective. Last week, we were snapping records, heat records, getting up to 81 degrees. Tonight, clearing and cool. This is just the beginning of a cool down overnight that we're really going to see the impact from. So here's a breakdown of your winds. After 7 o'clock tonight, I'm looking for your winds to be in the single digits. And again, that means the skies are going to be clear and temperatures are really going to be drawing down. For tomorrow, look at this. We continue to cool down. We'll still see intermittent winds in the higher elevations and also to the west of us, folks. Don't forget, we've got those Santa Anas in California wind speeds 50 to even 100 miles an hour. So the western part of the region will continue to see some winds through tomorrow. But as far as any more precipitation, just doesn't look like it's going to happen for us today or tomorrow. Cooler temperatures are going to prevail. We've got nothing but net tomorrow. Clear skies and highs in the mid 60s. Over the next 3 days, you can see a little bit of precipitation expected later today in western and southern regions. But everybody's going to be dry and windy by tonight. Clear by Friday. And then as we look ahead, wow. 7-day forecast. Even though temperatures are finally back to the normal range, I think you're going to truly feel that winter weather, those overnight lows dropping into the upper 30s this weekend, and we should be staying pretty close by the early part of next week. As far as any more snow chances after today, doesn't look like we're going to see any fresh snow, but of course we've got some good snow making conditions into the weekend with overnight lows down to about 11 degrees. Of course, we're going to keep you up to date ahead of the storm all day, all night, only right here on 12 Plus. Thanks for subscribing.